I was in a deep, deep depression in this house while the splits were happening, while the divorces were happening. Every split happened when we were living in this hash knife house.
Is it weird or different not having the help of the whole family for a move?
Anyway.
Hi, besties. I just watched the latest episode of Sister Wives, and I don't even think really that much happened. A couple people moved, but they were not moving at the same time. McKelty's move was in like July of 24, and Kody and Robyn's move was in like, I don't know, November of 24. So like 5 months apart. There was a tornado. Of course, everyone made it out alive. So it was just a bunch of drama for the sake of drama, although that should have probably been very scary. There was your token shredded flat tire that happens every time they're on a trip. It's almost like someone shreds a tire and that's their new storyline. And then Kody and Robyn's opulent house. And really, the only reason they sold Coyote Pass was because they needed money for their opulent house, because they fully admit that this house is way outside of their budget, but they financed it. Yes. Kody wants an opulent house. And all I kept thinking about when I was watching it is, where the hell is Dayton? Like, where is he? They're talking about how this house has 40% more square feet. No, their house in the McMansion had 4,500 square feet. The house that they just moved into has 5,500 square feet. It's 1,000 square feet. That's not a massive difference. It's a big difference, but it's not a massive difference. Bedrooms might be bigger, rooms might be bigger, but the house itself isn't 40% bigger. They just happen to have a guest house that has 2,200 square or 1,200 square feet, 2,000 square feet. I don't know. But while Kody and Robyn are bragging about this opulent house and they need money from Coyote Pass because they can't afford their home, I'm more thinking about what's been happening off camera, because that's apparently where the real tea is. And Maddie over the weekend was on her Instagram stories answering questions about her dad. And I was, finally someone is telling the truth. So she did a series where she answered questions from people, like, ask me a question type thing. And someone commented on a story that she shared, and she wrote, "Your dad saying lies about you for the entire world to hear teaches it to you real quick. I guess I'm in this kind of mood today."
All the time. So otherwise you're going to get a lawyer and the government involved, federal or state government, and the lawyer is going to take all the money you have.
Just aren't that nice. She's going back to a state that will come after me if she decides to. Well, she's going back to a state that hates me. And so she's taken Truly. She's going to go to that state. It's going to stop them from teaming up with her. Because remember, I don't trust her.
It's pretty clear that there is no chance in hell that Madison is ever going to reconcile with Kody and Robyn, literally ever. And a lot of it sounds like it's because they are just terrible human beings. I mean, I think most of us gathered that from watching this show, right? So she was asked advice for setting boundaries with people in the newborn stage, first timer. Make it about you. I need this to continue. My family will have this. I'm sorry, I'm not available right now. I can do. Make it okay to not give answers or responses immediately. Taking time to think about it is okay. So, setting boundaries with family members and, not wanting to see people. She's in that early stages. And then, setting boundaries is not easy. And it can be really easy for, if you come from a dysfunctional family, for the person that's the dysfunctional one, like the narcissist, to try to like overstep the boundaries and blur and bring you back into the fold and like find ways to contact you. And so it can be very hard. And I've learned in my own life, sometimes no contact is the only way that you can do that to keep yourself sane and safe. When it comes to Robyn, someone wrote, has Robyn really tried to make any attempts at reaching out to you? Remember how on the show Robyn said that she has tried to make amends and get the kids to speak to their dad? She said, Robyn is a liar. The end. If her mouth is moving, she is manipulating in such a calculated way that you will not know up from down. Truly, she is a liar to an extent I have yet to see replicated. Just my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. You know, this was what I heard from people that knew Robyn in Montana. They literally told me that Robyn is the most manipulative person in the entire world, and she's extremely competitive. She's very got to be the best at everything. She's emotionally manipulative. She lies about everyone and everything. And she always paints herself as the victim. And her apparent mom, like, bought into this victim narrative when she was a child and always defends Robyn's like atrocious behavior. I mean, this is the girl that went after her ex-husband because he had feelings for her sister. Okay, so her ex-husband Preston, right? He liked her younger sister Fawn. They never dated, but Robyn couldn't be like second fiddle, and so she pursued Preston because she wanted to be more desired than her sister. So basically ripped an opportunity between Preston and her sister and stole a possible love interest from her sister. That's Robyn Brown. So I actually believe this. And then she went on national television and said that her ex-husband basically raped her, right? Stole her purity, called him abusive, took away his parental rights, poisoned everyone in the family about him. She was also asked this: what started the shift of you recognizing Kody and Robyn only cared about themselves? And she said, in 2020, I started reading parenting books and I never looked back, though my relationship with Robyn was always rocky.
All you kind of blame you.
Oh yeah, I hate it. It makes me angry. It's insulting, and because what I consider what they're saying I'm doing, I think anytime a wife is in a plural family is controlling a husband enough to affect other relationships, I think she's a bad person. It's just, I'm tired of it because it's been happening for years. I would help any one of those kids have a conversation with their dad, try to make it safe for them.
But how about it be?
Nothing will change you in life more than becoming a parent yourself, because you start to see what happened in your childhood and you realize, oh my God, I thought that was normal. I thought that every kid went through that. I thought all kids experienced this. And then you start learning about parenting and you become a parent, you read about parenting, you learn techniques for working with kids, and you're like, oh, so that was actually just abusive. Okay. Okay, so I was a pawn in my parents' game or whatever it is, you know? And I think for a long time, when they were in the bubble of the show and they could control the kids, they could control the narrative. But I think isolation from COVID absolutely made a huge impact for everyone because they got away from Kody and they got away from the mind games, right? Yeah. She didn't hold back about Mary either. Okay. And this is a woman that once called Mary her abuser. She said, do you talk to Mary? Were rumors true that she was quite mean to all you kids? Madison says, Mary was hard. As an adult, I look back and I see that I think a lot of who she is due to her own hurt, which I do believe Kody did contribute to. I believe Mary's on her own healing journey. She was extremely harsh. She will never be allowed in my children's life, though I forgive her now. A lot of people want to say, oh, she was just strict in chaos. And to that, I want to respond, you were not there. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Though I believe Mary has her own hurt, I forgive her and move on. She still will never be allowed a relationship with my children. This is the exact same thing that McKelty says about Mary too, that Mary will never have a relationship with her kids because of how Mary treated her. Madison says that too. Peyton also says he will never have a relationship with Mary. Very few of the kids that are adults have relationships with her because of how she treated them as children. I think the big issue for so many fans about the Mary situation is because no one outright says what Mary did outside of the sanitized version of she was just stricter than my parent. She didn't let us jump on couches. We had to ask to walk through her steps. She never helped us, blah, blah, blah. Or she yelled at us about this, that, or the other thing. She screamed at McKelty because she asked for 5 cents to get candy and told McKelty that she was humiliating the family. She was petty and mean and, you know, made comments about people that mocked them in front of other people. But, you know, Christine describes a strict household where Mary just doesn't let kids be kids. Uh, I feel like there's way more than verbal and emotional abuse happening, and I just feel like they don't want to say it. That's what I think. Because Mary comes from a very abusive home. I told you that her dad had multiple wives, and two people from this group told me that one of his wives literally left him because he pushed her down the stairs, and he was allegedly physically awful to his wives. Someone that was in school where he was the principal told me that he slapped them across the face at school as a teacher, hit them. He was known to allegedly hit kids. Corporal punishment is standard in this cult. I mean, I've heard stories of kids getting chained to beds and locked in bedrooms and hit with 2x4s from this cult. So the idea that there wasn't something physical that happened here, I just don't buy it. And if someone's been abusive to you, I can fully comprehend why you would not want them around your children. I completely validate that. Are you open to reconciling with your dad? No judgment if you're not. Maddie says, I'm not sure. I think I would need more than he could give. I'm not sure I want to welcome the storm that is Kody and Robyn into my life. From day to day, the life of the Brush family is very quiet and easy, and I like that.
Had one of the kids call me and ask me, can't we just relax the rules? I mean, I do want to be careful, but these aren't my rules. You got to blame somebody, so I'm an easy target. I didn't sign up for monogamy, and I'm tired of being questioned. I'm just tired of it. As much as I love Kody and it's great to have him around, it is stressing me out and worrying about the kids that aren't seeing their dad. It gets frustrating. My mom calls me the Brown family.
I definitely can resonate with that. She shared that her husband has kidney disease. I had no idea about that. And someone else asked, have you given professional therapy a go to help process issues with Kody? Love you. She said, yes, I see a professional therapist on and off, and I have a busy schedule, and she is rather good, so she stays rather busy. I have benefited a lot from this. I think anyone who comes from a complex family dynamic could benefit from it. So she has received mental health help, and sees a therapist. Asked about how much of the show is accurate. It is accurate according to each person's point of view. It does take all the extremes of months and condenses it into 14 hours. What happened, but the commentary or voiceover is according to what that person perceived happened. But imagine the most dramatic things that have ever happened to you in a year are condensed, added music, then some producer spins the storyline perspective, asks you questions, and says, what do you think about that? I think if Kody and Robyn are talking, they're lying. She also said that they don't think they're going to have any more kids because Caleb's health is fragile because his current kidney function is only 24% and he will likely need a kidney transplant. I don't know what causes his kidney disease, but she said that he has chronic kidney disease. And apparently it can be very life threatening. And things got very dicey in February through May this past year. So she and Caleb are done having kids because of that, which is sad. I had no idea that Caleb wasn't doing well. I did notice that his face was a little bit puffy, which can happen sometimes, I think, when you're on dialysis. So I don't know if he's got diabetes. I don't know if something else caused it, but that's really scary and sad. But obviously Maddie has gone through healing and she's got the tea here. And the tea is that her Robyn and Kody are freaking liars and that life is a hell of a lot easier without them in her life. And that she doesn't want her kids around Mary, but she forgives Mary for what happened. She recognizes that her dad caused Mary a lot of hurt. And she also said that she's been into therapy. So, yeah, that to me was a lot more interesting than what I watched on this most recent episode. But we'll get into a recap of it eventually this week. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye besties.